Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, quadrilateral ABCD has its vertices at A 2, -3, B 5, 4, C 7, -4, and D 2, -9. The quadrilateral was reflected across the x-axis to create the quadrilateral A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Which of the following represents the vertices of the new quadrilateral? Okay, so what is it that I'm going to be looking for? Well, it says that I'm looking for the vertices for the new quadrilateral. So there is a quadrilateral given to us, and the vertices are up here on the top, right? These are the vertices for my quadrilateral, which has the label ABC. And that quadrilateral is being reflected, and it says right here how it's being reflected across the x-axis. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do first is find those coordinates to make up my quadrilateral ABCD, right? And then I want to reflect it across the x-axis. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to highlight my x-axis, because every point or every vertices that I have on my quadrilateral will go to the opposite side of that x-axis, right? So let's go with the first one. My first coordinate is A, 2 and -3. So this is 2 and -3 is right here. Okay, and let's go ahead and label this as A. Okay, then we have B as 5 and +4, which is up here, and that will be B. Then we have C as 7 and -4, which is right here. Okay, and that will be my C. And last but not least, we have D, 2 and -9. Okay, and that will be 2 and -9 will be way down here. Okay, and that will be my D. Okay, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna connect it. So let me give you a little bit of couple of seconds for you guys to connect it, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the picture. Okay. Okay, so I have my quadrilateral. I connected the vertices, and I can see my quadrilateral ABCD, right? Notice how some of the vertices are in the lower section of the x-axis or to the bottom, and there's only one point that is B, the vertex B, it's above the x-axis. So what's going to happen is every point is going to go to the opposite side, okay? So to do that, we're going to come back and we're going to write down the vertices here, okay, so that we can analyze one at a time. Okay, so for example, I am gonna go to the vertex A, and I am gonna count that A, it's 1, 2, it's 3 units away from the x-axis, right? So a reflection means that it needs to cross it to the other side, and it needs to be equidistant, which means at the same distance than how it was before. So we're gonna count 3, and this will be my new point. Okay, and this will be A prime. And the coordinates for that will be +2, and I'm gonna write them here. And notice how the Y, it's a +3 now. Okay, so I don't know if you can see what happens here, but my X coordinate is exactly the same. But notice what happened to the Y coordinate. It's changing to the opposite. It's like if I multiply by a -1, right? -1 times a -3 gives me a +3, right? So keep that in mind. What about the next point? So let's go ahead and analyze point B, okay? So point B, or the vertex B, it's 1, 2, 3. It's actually 4 units away from the x-axis. So we're gonna count 4 units down from there. So this will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. It will be right here. And this will be my B prime. And that point is at 5 and -4. So notice what happened. The x coordinate stays the same. The y coordinate is the opposite. It was a +4 and it became a -4, right? So with that in mind, maybe we can do the rest. So C prime will be 7 stays the same because x stays the same. -4 would turn into a +4. D prime, well, the 2, which is my x coordinate, will stay the same. And my -9 will be a +9 now. Okay? So again, notice how the x coordinate stays the same. The y coordinate changed to the opposite. Okay? So we can go ahead and find those points. So C will be 7 and +4, which is going to be right here. And that will be C prime. And the last one will be +2 and a +9, which is way up here. And this will be my D prime, right? So these will be the points for my new shape. Is that right? So let's go ahead and connect them. Okay, so let's connect the points, which I already have here, right? This will be all the way over here. Then this goes all the way down here and up here again. And that will be my new quadrilateral. Okay, so notice how every point or every vertex, if you want to put it like that, it's on the opposite side of the x coordinate. Okay, so what's happening is this. Let's say this is my x and my y coordinate. So my rule says that the x stays the same, right? We did not change the x coordinate, but the y is like if you multiply by a -1, not that it became a negative, but it actually multiplied by a negative. Remember, when there's no number as a coefficient, it's a -1, okay? So let's look at the answer choices for this. And what's the one that matches that? Okay, yes, the one that matches this is my answer choice C.